Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Star Agent Starco Gaming here, back with another Marvel 55 video. Guys, make sure to check the description below the video for the link to our giveaways, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel or you cannot actually win any giveaways. So guys, today what we're gonna do is we're gonna show how Sentinel is underrated in this game. Well, we're gonna have some gameplay of Shadowland floor 72 where it just destroy the crap of that floor in 71 seconds, you guys. Yes, 71 seconds, floor 73 without any great team up or leadership. He has a small leadership, but not that much. This guy is just amazing, and that's without the CTP, guys. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about his build and where he's actually good in the game. Then we're gonna jump in the gameplay. If you don't want to hear my blah blah blah, just jump to the gameplay, guys. I don't care. So guys, this guy, what game mode is actually good? He's good in timeline, debuff removal. Plus, if you play him manually, he can pretty much kill anything in the game, any tier 3. He can one-shot Deadpool. Like seriously, this guy is a beast in PvP, to be honest. AC, top 50 characters in AC, and his debuff removal again is very important to have an extra one in AC. So this guy is top dog for AC. Wall Boss Ultimate, he can clear Corvus Glaive 40 plus with the proper build. If you do have an average build like without the pros or anything, just a CTP Transcendence, for example, stage 30 plus for Corvus is actually something you can actually clear. Alliance Battle Extreme, he can go up to about 1 million in Universal Villain, so that makes him as strong as Thanos, for example, PvE wise in Alliance Battle Extreme. Shadowland, that's where he shines the most, guys. This guy in Shadowland could go higher than floor 80. That's how strong he is. And that is only because of one of his skills that we're going to see. His second skills, guys, we're going to see in a bit. This second skill is actually freaking crazy. If you can put the targets you're fighting in Shadowland in the corner and just apply that second skills over and over and over on the ground, the damage reduction gets so crazy that the targets start taking so much damage. That's why he's very good. Very good. And that second skill will actually apply to any game modes. PvP, Wall Boss, Alliance Battle Extreme, Alliance Battle Normal, whatever. That yellow circle on the ground that reduces the damage, that increases damage the target is going to take, works everywhere. So first, let's take a quick look at my build, then we're going to go into skills and explain those skills a little bit better. So here I'm ranked 249, we're level 70, gear 25, max skill cooldown, max ignore defense, 200% critical damage, 40% critical rate, 125% attack speed, 17,399 energy attack, which is not that much. Increased damage dial to super type characters by 4%, and he's a machine. He is a machine, so pretty much he's very weak against Magneto, but other than that, he's pretty strong about against pretty much everything. If we look at his gear here, CED, Euro are not fully optimal. We have some 4-star, 5-star, and 6 stars. 6 stars actually, but pretty much everything is pretty much a little bit above average on the build, but nothing outstanding, nothing, no welling out here, that's for sure. Enhancement type, he is rank 1, so he gets 7.5% increased damage against combat, blast, and speed. And the fact that he's universal and get that kind of buff is actually something very massive for him. If you can actually max out that universal type enhancement, he can do a lot of freaking damage in Shadowland and in PvP against those kinds of characters. He's also we're running with a set bonus stage 7 and an effect Power of Angry Hulk, so again could use a lot more work here to do a lot more damage. We get all attack 8.5%, attack speed 7.7%, all defense 8.5%, critical rate 8.5%, ignore defense 8.1%, activation rate 12% chance when attacking, plus 22% increase of all attack for 20 seconds with a cooldown time of 59 seconds. It's actually something I'll work on him to you know, to be able to use him up to stage 90 eventually in Shadowland, and that's actually my objective with this guy. So I gotta finish his ISO set, obviously. Custom gear, see, nothing special. We got 36.5% critical damage with 180% pros. If you actually put a CTP of energy on this guy, his damage will probably increase by about, I say at 30 to 40%, because that chain damage will actually be huge for him, that's for sure. But I do not have one, so I got none on him. But that's something I would like to actually find for him eventually. If I can get a CTP of Rage eventually to put on one of my ABX meta, I'm most likely going to drop a CTP of Energy on this guy just so he can be a total beast, to be honest. Now, if we look at his skills, we talked about his skills a little bit earlier, and we're going to cover them all here. First, tier 2 passive. 20% increase to all that attack and defense of summon characters. 20% increase to HP and 20% duration increase of summon characters. Increase all attack by 25%, speed by 10, critical rate by 10%, remove incapacitation, immune to dominance of spirit, so you cannot get mind control, which is actually very good for those super villain floor. You know, the one with the logo is Modok, that you have a lot of crowd control. Since this guy can actually be crowd control like that, he's actually the perfect target for a floor like that. It's very, very awesome. That's not the floor we did, so we did something totally different. So that's a tier 2 passive. Tier 1 passive, we have activation rate 25% when it applied to self, super armor, so kind of perishable immunity to guard break. All defense increased by 5% in the last 6 seconds with a cooldown of 5 seconds. 70% chance to become immune to the greatest element damage received for a 6 seconds cooldown time of 5 seconds. That does consider physical attack, energy attack, poison damage, you know, all the elemental damage. So no matter what you're fighting, eventually, if you can survive long enough, which is usually the case, you will become immune to that damage he's taking for 6 seconds. Applied to self, increase damage dealt to mutant characters by 90% and decrease damage received from mutant characters by 50%, and that is huge, guys. That is huge, and the cooldown on that process of 25% rate when it is 3 seconds. So that keeps coming up and coming up and coming up very often, to be honest, guys. So that's the passive. Now the leadership, applied to all allies. Activation rate, when debuff, remove all debuff for 12 seconds with a cooldown time of 20 seconds. So one of the best debuff removal, very close to the Wasp. Wasp is a team up, so it's better. But as a leader, I think the 20-second cooldown is actually #1 spot as a leader, with the other one that has it on 20-second cooldown, obviously. Now, if we look at the skills, first skills, you got a stun, but that's not only that. This skill will actually charge. So it will charge the targets to a wall, for example, and group them together if you actually use that skill. Now we're going to skip the second skills for now. We have the third skill here, HP recovery, shield, and remove all debuff. Which is, you know, you bleeding or something like that. Even if you have debuff removal, sometimes it can happen because you have 8 seconds that the debuff removal cannot actually happen. Well, you can remove those bleed or whatever you get with that skill. Then you have the fourth skill. The fourth skill is actually the biggest damage, plus it gives you immunity to all damage for 1 second. So you have big shock damage. You have 2 different stun on that skill, one at the start, one at the end, if I'm not mistaken. And you have crazy damage. It's very strong. Then we have the fifth skill here. Summon an illusion with 100% of summoner stat for 20 seconds with a cooldown 12.5 seconds, and plus you create a huge energy sphere that will be left where you actually cast the summons, and that sphere can do a lot of damage too. It's very, very, very strong and will guard break the targets too, so very useful in Shadowland again. And that'll pop your summons. Now your summons, how those summons work on this character is pretty simple. The summons will replicate every single skills you use except the fifth skill. Obviously that will be too crazy to get a bunch, you know, start with 3 summons then go with 9 summons. That will be just ridiculous. So the fifth skill does not get replicate, it's just create new summons, but every other skills are a duplicate. So like that fourth skill with 3 minions out and a pros, it's just some crazy damage, I can tell you that. And plus we have the second skills. Now it's time to talk about that second skills, guys. Applied to enemies, 25% decrease all defense, stack up to 100%. 25% decrease of all attacks, stack up to 100%. So you can decrease the attack of your target by 100%. You can reduce their defense by 100%. This is crazy. But now it's tricky because you have to make sure that the target stay in the yellow circle, because that skill is going to create a yellow circle on the ground, and the target get 25% reduction of defense and attack per circle they're standing in. So if you get up to 3-4 circle, that's where you start doing a lot of damage and basically don't take any damage. I don't know if the all attack reduction apply to the wall boss ultimate. I know that the all defense reduction do apply to them, and it is crazy, and especially in Shadowland. Like you're gonna see in the gameplay we're about to jump in, guys. For example, we were fighting Iron Fist on floor 72. At the start, the damage is very minimal, but once we are able to get Iron Fist in the corner and we start applying those yellow circle on the ground and start beating the crap out of him, he start taking damage so freaking fast. So freaking fast. You'll see the damage from the start to the end, the DPS, you know, damage per second increase so crazy mode, guys. It's ridiculous. It's beast mode by the end of the fight, to be honest. So the gameplay that was recorded, guys, was in my live stream yesterday, so you're gonna see my face cam, but I removed the sound. I actually put music in the background because that will make no sense when I'm saying in that, because I was talking to people and stuff like that, so that will make no sense. So we got music in the background, but that was recorded yesterday on my live stream. For people who don't know, I stream from Tuesday to Saturday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time, US time, guys. So if you want to jump in and watch the stream, always feel free to join me. Tuesday to Saturday night, we have 2 different accounts we run Shadowland with every week, and when we have time, we put some wall boss ultimate kills in there too. So guys, next we're gonna jump in the gameplay. It's time for that. I talk enough. Again, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this content to show your support, and make sure to check the description below the video for the link to our giveaways. And on that, guys, Star Agent Starco Gaming is out.